তাহলে প্রথমে আমি একটু এক্সারসাইজ করে নিলাম, এতে আমার শরীরে এন্ডরফিন নামক একটা হরমোন ক্ষরণ হবে। এই হরমোনটির অপর নাম হচ্ছে ফিল গুড হরমোন, কারণ এই হরমোনটি আমাকে ভালো অনুভব করতে হেল্প করবে। এবার আমি একটু গ্রিন টি খাবো, কারণ গ্রিন টি আমার খুব ফেভারিট। এটা খেলে আমার মুড একটু আপলিফ্ট হয়, সেই জন্য আমি এখন একটু গ্রিন টি খেয়ে নিব। Now I will close my eyes and I will start auto-suggestion meditation. I love English. English is a beautiful language. I am learning English each and every single day, and I am improving a lot. I am loving the process of learning English. I am not afraid of spoken English. The process of learning English is very entertaining. The process is very enjoyable. I am learning the process. I am enjoying the process. I am improving the process. I am loving English language itself. I am not afraid of spoken English. My past trauma about spoken English has gone. It is deleted from my subconscious mind. English is not a measurement device to measure anyone's capability or intelligence. So, English is just a language. So, if I speak something wrong, if I make mistake, it does not make me stupid. It is just a part of the process. I am comfortable in making mistakes. I accept mistakes and then I improve myself. It's a easy process. It's a enjoyable process. I love spoken English. I love English in general. This is a beautiful language. This is a device which I can use for international communication. I love English language in general. I love the process of learning skill of spoken English. I am learning every day. I am improving every day. Before starting the speaking English learning process, the exercise and the meditation part help me to improve my mood, and this is how I am able to connect my good emotional state with English learning process. Now I will watch an English podcast on YouTube. I will try to watch this podcast with tremendous level of focus. I will try to notice every single phrase that I have never used before, and I will listen to that phrase again and again, at least 3 to 4 times before I move on.
If the world had to write one sentence next to the name Bill Gates, what would you want them to write?
I don't do my work, based on some epitaph. I don't do my work, based on some epitaph. I don't do my work, based on some epitaph.
After listening to this phrase several times, I'll repeat this phrase again and again in my mind. And this is how this phrase will enter into my subconscious mind. And whenever I'll feel necessary, this entire phrase will come to my mind and I will use it. This is how I learn speaking English, through English video contents. Now I will read an English book. This book is titled Rich Dad Poor Dad. This book is written by Robert Kiyosaki. Wherever I see any new word or any new phrase, I'll search that word or the phrase on the Google. I will see the definition of the word or the phrase and not a single word Bengali meaning, because full sentence gives me better understanding of the word or the phrase. After having some understanding of the meaning of the phrase or the word, in case of phrase, I'll repeat the phrase itself for several times. In case of a word, I'll repeat the phrase where the word is used for several times. This is how the meaning and the usage of the word or the phrase enters into my subconscious mind. Now we come to a very important question. How do I practice speaking English? For me, it is very easy. I can record myself in front of a camera speaking English. This is very easy for me. I can speak in front of a camera and record myself. Here you have to remember one thing which is very important. You cannot think in Bangla and then translate it into English. This is not the right way. You have to think in English and you have to speak in English. This is the way to speak in English. Because when we speak in English, we don't have time to translate from Bengali to English. This is not the natural way to speak any language. But because Bangla is our mother tongue, we naturally tend to think in Bangla, then translate it into other languages. And that's the biggest hurdle in speaking any other language. But if you are unable to think in English, you have to train your brain to think in English. But how will you do that? There are two ways to do that. One is writing, another is speaking. Now let us enter into the first part, which is writing. Now take a pen and a paper and start writing about something very fast. Don't stop. Don't think about it. Just keep writing. Write for 5 to 10 minutes. This will stop your brain's translation process from Bengali to English, and your brain will slowly start to think in English itself directly. Here you have to keep one thing in your mind, that it does not matter whether what you are writing is grammatically correct or not. It is more important that you are writing fast and you are not thinking for better words or better phrases. You are just writing fast. That is the only thing counts here. And the second thing you can do is you can stand in front of a mirror or a camera and you can speak about something very fast. Don't think about it, just keep speaking about it. Don't think about better words or better phrases or grammar. Just keep speaking for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. This is how you will trick your brain, or you will force your brain to think in English itself. If you have any real life friend or any social media friend who wants to speak in English with you, who wants to practice spoken English with you, you can talk with them in English. Whenever you are talking in English with anybody, don't try to point out each other's mistakes, because research has shown that pointing out each other's mistakes does not improve spoken English. Whenever you talk to anybody in English, don't behave as if you are practicing spoken English or you are learning spoken English. You just behave as if you are trying to communicate with each other and you are trying to understand each other. That's how naturally you will rectify and correct and improve your spoken English. At last, we have to remember that we cannot learn spoken English in 7 days or 30 days by using some tricks. We really need some efforts and discipline to learn spoken English, but we have understood that it is doable. I believe anybody who has passed Madhyamik exam can learn decent spoken English by using the above mentioned methods within 6 months. But we have to keep learning and improving ourselves even after 6 months, because learning never ends.